Hello to everyone, this is Vishal, and now today we have another topic for Swift that is called your collections. In the collections, actually, most of the students want that how we can operate these collections in your Swift. So I'm describing the basic things and a lot of interesting features related to these arrays, sets, and your dictionary. So one by one I've defined all the things. So but first we go for the basic thing that's called collection. What is the definition and how we can explain the things, these things in a Swift and as well as in other languages also, but basically we are talking about the Swift today. So that's it. The collection in jump, simply we can say it in a simple language. We can say that what is a collection means if we gather the things in the same place or a container. So that's be called your collection. As we say that collect all the things with there and put it uh, in uh, in that bucket or likewise that. So that is container, we can say. The same thing happen in your programming language. So in the programming, it is simply an object that groups multiple elements into a single unit. That's a very important line for the students. That's why in programming, it is a simply an object that groups multiple elements into a single unit. So that single unit be your container. So as we're talking about the Swift, so the Swift provides primary collections types as an array, sets, and dictionaries, as you see in my screens, for storing the collections of values. So if we discriminate the collections in your Swift, we have a three parts, three major areas. That's called your arrays, number two sets, and number three is your dictionaries. So first we're talking about the arrays. Arrays are order collections, as you know that in every languages we are using the arrays because of that is the most important part of doing work, and it's a mandatory we are working with these arrays in most of our programs. Because of it become easy to use the arrays. So the arrays are ordered collections of our values, ordered collections. Okay, so sets, we can say it is unordered collections. The basic difference between the arrays and the sets be the ordered and unordered unique values, and the dictionary is just one step be there. That's we have a key with storage because of it's easy to access some part in a memory because of like why is your index paging. If we know the index, we can go through easily on that particular part. So the accessing time, retrieving time be so uh, less in that part of that. So dictionaries, when we have a complicated cases with there, so we use, and if we want to the speed of the program, so we use the dictionaries be there, and generally the basic things we working with the array. So first step we go for that array. So array, if you see on my screens, you can see that with the indexings and in the form of a ordered manner 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. That means we have a 10 values, length of the array be 10, but the indexing we started from the 0. Just say for I equal to 0, I is less than that particular value and I plus plus. So and if we go for the arrays, and the arrays definition be there, an array stores values of the same type in orderly. Same type means if you have an integer, if you have a double, if you have a string, if you have a character, so the same kind of values we can put it. The same values can appear in the array multiple times, and so because of it is an order way, so we use indexing using the loop, so we can traverse the array up to that element. Because of if we go for the 8 element, because if our element be uh, we have a 10 values 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 8 9 10. I have to search 8 numbers, so we have to traverse from 0 to up to that number. So that is, so the Swift array types is bridge to foundations and as array classes at a different position. If somebody asking that where I mean what is the base class of that, foundation class of that, that is called NS array in your Swift. And an array is an order collection that stores multiple values of the same data type. That means that an array of int can only store the int value, double store only double value, string store only string values. Okay, so that is, if you see, but very interesting features how we can operate the arrays in here. uh, Swift. So for that we have to go for the playground, and here we are working with arrays. Okay, so this we have to work first with array. So yeah, if we have an array like say AR, and if we talk about that's likewise this 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and print automatically if you store this like in a long brackets, it show to you the values like this. uh, yeah, it's taking a time to play with this. Yeah, this is, you can see on the right side this is a 1 2 3 4, and if I print it, it print with the A below. Okay, and this is your first kind of array, that's be your simple. So you have not to define like this, just if you define it like in a Java and other things, that is your arrays and column and that integer kind of array, and there be the things, so it's automatically be defined be here. So AR str, if we to talking about the string array, we can say it. So the first name be just like first comma, the second name is like second, what the third name be like third. So you can see on the right side there be on the screen first, second or third. If you want to the print, and you can that print AR str, and you can see that what happened, it be on a below part, you can see first, second or third. So this be your double, integer, strings, you can make it a multiple arrays, that means the collections of the strings be here, and but little bit different definition of the uh, array be here. So it's in, that means here it's easy to define the things be. Okay, now if we go for okay, how to traverse the things, that means how we can use the, if you want to show it one by one, so how you can print it like that. So for that you can say to for I in AR, and if you want to traverse the thing one by one, you can print it like this. So it show to you below 1 2 3 4. So that means if you want to traverse it, you have a loop. Okay, and if you want to just simply print it, you did be the in a bracket form, it show to you that be what is the array collection be inside that. Okay, so this is you define your values. If there be you want with array values from the web services or the other things, so there will be a lot of stuff that I will explain in the yeah, the second tutorial of this array. But how we can make it if it is a string or type definition, so that is be your, if we have a where AR int kind of values, I want to show that, so I will make it like this. I want be the int, and these values be okay. So do one thing, one more thing I will explain to you before that, that is where, and if it is like int, so it's good first to go for this. Okay, and arr int dot append. In append, do not go with the contents, that's pure one, and you have to copy paste the things. So we can append multiple values, that means at this time you just simply learn that values become from the backend on the anywhere, so that means we can store in your integer kind of array. Okay, so if you want to define the things be there, so you define it like this, and if you want to print this, you can say arr int, so can print form be your 1 2 3 4. Okay, and the traversing be the same like that as we did it. So easy. So this is our first form, how we can do that, how we can append that. Okay, and one more thing I want to explain. Yeah, you have count the values, how much be our values be there. So a lot of things be there. If you see multiple values, remove your which value be contained be there, enumerated. I will explain it, some values be there. So basic thing is how we can use it, integer kind of string kind. Okay, if you want to go for the your string kind, so you can say str ar, and you can do it with this your string and there's a bracket, and you say strar dot append the number, the name be your in double quotes, and this is your first. Okay, and just copy paste it, and this is your second, this is your third, these all, and you can print this array collection be here st. Yeah, so in a below you can see it first second third be the collection, and if we collection of array, and if we say that if you want to traverse that, you can using the loop be there likewise as we did it. Like if you make it index well, or say in, or say str ar, and just simply print that index. So easy. Sorry, index well. Okay, so easy. So it showed to you the first second and third values. Okay, now come on again. So this is your integer kind of, you can initialize an array with an array literal, and a literal is a list of values separated by commas, just like be here like this. You use this or not on the left side. If you want to use this, that is indication of that, otherwise you leave it as we did it. If you simply explain, if simply say where our int is equals to the long bracket 1 2 3 is automatically be take like this integer. So do not define it likewise that. If you want to go for that, that means if you want to get data from the backend or the other things, then you define that this is a string kind. So that's not be your literal values. Okay, that is the dynamic values we come from database. Okay, yeah. Now we go for the list of numbers, you can show in my screen. So this is the example of printing example of like such this. So again we can say an array is a list of values. In a Swift, array is a type. You declare the type of the array, and you can only add items that are of the same type of the array. You can generally store multiple different type of arrays. Okay, and if we go for some little bit example, yeah, I already showed to you that. Yeah, one more thing I have to explain, that is remove. That means you can remove it on a particular position. Okay, if you take it uh, likewise. Okay, yeah, so you can see that now print a, what happened, 1 2 4 5. See what happened with there. You can append 1 2 3 4 4 values like above, and then you can say that remove at second. So that's be your position be your 0 1 2 indexing is. So third one element be removed from here because of 0 1 2 2, that means the value is 3 be there at a second third that locations, that we say third location, but indexing is 0 1 2. Okay, and a remove at 2 on particular indexing, and then if you want to append some element for that, so that be with the element of the next one, so it become 1 2 4 5. Before that it is 1 2 3 4. Okay, so simply you can append, you can remove, you can do a lot of operations with that. And again we go for, yeah, so as told you, you have a sum type, that means integer type, string type you have to define like this as an on my screen. Below is your string. You can append the multiple values, that means you can append I on the backend or the backend services, that means you can put the JSON arrays inside of that, you can append JSON array or anything be there and then traverse the things, but that part I will show to you on my how we can interact with the database array or JSON arrays likewise. Okay, so but here I just simply explain what is an array. Okay, the second thing is, this is your value, and simply say count 3 repeated values with 10, so that means it repeat value up to 10 these element. Okay, okay, we'll explain the things to you what happened. I think it become now repeating. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is called your repeating and count 4. So what happened, we have a repeating value on right side, say check it, 5 5 5 5, that means repeating 5. If there be the element, and if program, if you want to repeat something up to 10 times or 5 times, so it gives a good uh, is good definition to define your array like with the repeating form. So otherwise no use of this, just to show to you how we can do it. It is a 5 5 5, everywhere it is a 5 5 5 up to that element. So this is your repeating and that is your count. Okay, otherwise less use of this repeating because of we can make a dynamic forms. Okay, the next one is your yeah, enumeration. If you want to be, if you want to say there be indexing values, if to describe that which element be there, so you make it enumeration for that. So I think you know well what is enumeration, but delete this stuff. If you want that more about the enumeration, then I will describe you on my enumeration tutorial of a Swift. So you can see that I am doing that. Enumeration means here I am making an index and this is your item. This is my array, I say enumerated. When I say enumerated, that means it explains the things which indexing with which element be there. So that means this is your enumeration of on particular index with values in a simple array. So sometimes we need it, so make it, you take the two values, index and your value item, you can take it as a variable, so you can put any value with there instead of index or item, it's just a b or this. Okay, and this is your array dot enumerated. Okay, so make b index and item both. So now we have to come on another. Yeah, this is your, if you create an array and assign to the variable, the collection that is created will be mutable. This means that you can change in the future. Okay, and change be done by adding, removing, changing items as we did it, append and remove it and again append it. So these changes, that is we called your mutability. Mutability means changes. Okay, now come on for your sets. Okay, so this is enough for the array. So first to simply go for the what is the array and how we can do the simple operations. You will add two arrays, you subtract the arrays, you can traverse the arrays. But the most important interesting part when we go for big programs in which we need a array as an your app, and where we have to show that in a table you want some values be using arrays. So there is a UI table view, you can do that uh, approach. So I will explain to you how to use UI table view, in which how we can use these array, how we can access these arrays or other stuff with there. Okay, now we come on the sets as in, I think if you students if you are student of mathematics, and there be you can do the union, intersection, these things if you remember. So the same thing be happen be here in a Swift. It gives a good advantage of doing that, how we can make a sets of that. That means an order collection first, with a basic difference between the sets and your array. Array is your order and sets is unordered. Sometimes we do not want to go for the indexing, I just want to be where it is, just simply I have to show that. No indexing needed. I just show the names, do not want to go for that particular name or like that. So you just using the sets. If you have a two sets and I want to be the common elements on that, I want to be the all elements upon that, I want to the which is on A, which is on B, like with these operations we can work on this sets being your according to the programs and game programming. Okay, so what we have, so value stored in the set is must be hashable. This means it has provided a hash value property. This is important because sets are unordered, so it is hash values used across the element on the sets. Because okay, hash value means because hash values how we can access the elements. So we need it for that. So now I'm giving the example for this. So first we see that the difference between the sets and the uh, array in your programming. Okay, just see. If it is a, as I explained, if it is a array, it is an array and its value be your 1 2 comma 3 comma 4, and you have to print this value, and this is your AR. Okay, and what happened, you can see that in the below it is a 1 2 3 4, but what happened if we make it as a set? So it show to me 2 3 1 4, any number it can randomly be used. Okay, just say if I make it a print. Okay, so likewise, so this is your 2 3 1 4 4 3 2, and likewise that it can show to you a form of set, it create a set for you. So the basic difference, if you do not use the set, that means it is an array. Okay, if you say set, so that become a set, so that is become unordered, and before it is ordered. So that's the difference between the traversing on the set or your array. Okay, likewise the most important thing is, as we say, the what is the hash form. That means it create a unique values, because of in the memory how we can access the values. Just like say, if array indexing be 0, I can access that on a 0 point, and a 1 point, and a 2 point, and a 3 point, likewise that. But what happen if it is unordered form, and other unordered form, which we how we can do that if we have a duplicate values? So how we can do, because of we have no any index, so it never repeat two values, it just make a single value be the unique value there. How? So it is a var set, and it is your 5 5 6 7 8 comma 8. So if we go for that, you can see it become 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Never repeat the values, because of it is a hash, it works on the hash key, and hash key works on the unique values. So to name it, take it a 1. Okay, So you have to discriminate the things. If you want be the duplicate items never be used in your unordered way, because of it depends on hash table. Okay, so that's be here. And likewise that if you see the example be here on my screen, this is the your integer value, this is your the same thing. If you say a b b c c d d e a b, so a b on a single time we can use it. A b b c c d and d four time, for four element is show to you. Okay, so likewise that. And the same thing we can append, we can remove, we can do all the stuffs like your array. Okay, it's just simply. But how we can operate, you can see that on my screen. If you have a two values a and b, and I want some unique values on that, so we have elements 1 2 3 4 be here, 2 3 4 5 6 be here, so 2 3 be the common on here, so that is the common elements. That's called your intersection. Union all elements, symmetric difference, subtracting. So these operations we have to follow with our elements in your Swift. How? Okay, if we have a number like if we take number, uh, let we have a number as a odd number be here, odd number be here. So and the odd number, we can say it your set value, and a set value we have 1 comma 3 comma 5 comma 7. And if we take with the year, yeah, I don't want to take this odd and even, we can say number 1, and we take any values be there 1 2 3 5 7, because of intersection we have to show, so maybe some common number needed on that, so I'm talking about. So this is your number 2, and here it is 1 2, this is your 6, this is your 8, this is your 9. Okay, so these be your two, number 1 and number 2 be there, and I want be that number 1 dot union and number 2. So what happened on the right side, it make a union of all elements. That's be your, but you can see that one is take a single time, because of it is a one thing is it is a common, and that means and it's repeated, so that means in your new set it always be make it like a 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. But that is on if you want to go for the sorting manner, sorted. So you can see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, so that be your sorted form of any kind of set. If you want that, if you want with the sorted, you can apply that sorted. If you don't want with the sorted, it take any number values, any random numbers be okay, so that's be your, but inside that. Okay, and if you have a number 1, and that is your intersection, and this is your number 2 intersection, that's a common number, that is a 1 2 be the common here, and if you want to be the sorted manner, that be a sorted here 1 and 2. Okay, so easy. Okay, and if you want be the which is element be inside your number 1 but don't be on your number 2, so we have a I think that you're subtracting your number 2 dot sorted. So what happened, it show me that 3 5 7 beyond number set. So the same thing if you go for the number 2 subtracting number 1, that means on the number 2 we have elements, so easy. And if you want for the symmetric difference, so that's be the same thing. So these operations we can follow, you can apply these things as for a practice. It is a good for practice how to make a union, intersection, subtraction, symmetric difference, and a lot of things be in here. Now come on the dictionary part. Dictionary is very interesting, where we want be the accessing directly to our particular values. That means, just say in a, if we go for any class and I know that particular roll number we have a 1 2 3, and a 1 is Sachin Sharma, Sachin Mehta, number 2 is Sachin. If you have a three names categories, but uh, cast be different, but I know them only by the name Sachin, Sachin, Sachin. But in a same thing, it is difficult if we use that the set, because of the Sachin never be repeated. Sachin it take on a single time. But if we have a indexing, I have just be indexing 1 2 3. I know the roll number of these three students, just like 101, 105, 103. So we have a Sachin, 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 which is on 101, 100. That be the unique value as an index form. So if we want to go for that, so that's called your dictionary. That means we have a index and then particular pages indexes be here, and then we go for particular page. So we can call this here dictionary. Stores associations between the keys and the same type and the values of the same type in collections. Okay, if you have any issue related to the dictionary sets and arrays, so you can comment me there and you can raise your question to me. And if you want to something in your programming, that means if you have an issue related to the your any app or whatever be, you can ask to me in a Swift apps, iOS apps, and related to Android apps also. Okay, so here I'm talking about the dictionary. So that's be simple explanation of thing. I think I'm describing well, so you can easily understand the things. Okay, so likewise that. So here, if we go for a dictionary, what happen, how we can first define that. You can say dic1, dictionary 1, and that's be your, if I say it is a int column string type of that, so that means our dictionary be a integer and a string form. Okay, and if I say where dic1, okay, one more thing I have to explain to you. Yeah, if you want be the dynamic form of dictionary, okay, and if you want be a static form of dictionary, is not a static, we can say it, I mean you are defined, that means your literal forms of dictionary, I'm sorry, literal form of dictionary. So you can say int string equal to, that's your 1 first, 2 second. So you can see on the right side, that is your first and this is your second. Okay, so that's your literal forms and this is your dynamic form. So this to be the way to work with a dictionary. And if we have a dictionary like a string column string type of that, and in which we have to work that is one roll number be assigned to VJ and second student be, or a two roll number be your Ajay. So that's your string dictionary. Okay, and if you go for integer kind of, so you can make it like a roll number. Okay, so this is a int string kind of, if you have a string int kind of, so you can make a multiple. So that means what first is your that indexing and the second is your values. So you can use it. One as indexing, another is your value. So come again, go for the definition. So here, a dictionary key type must conform the hashable protocol like a set values type. Okay, so that means it is your hash form and that is your value form. So that is, so make it a unique values and give it the duplicacy. If you want to give, you give on the string kind of on the, that means on the values, but these be your unique. Okay, and this is a simple explanation. Again, I am talking about the dictionary. Our dictionary is an unordered collection. Unordered collection, that means set only the array be your ordered form. Your sets, your dictionary, both are unordered form. Okay, that is store multiple values of the same time. Each value from the dictionary is associated with a unique key. All the keys have the same type. The type of dictionary is determined by the type of the keys and the type of the values. A dictionary of a type has a key of type strings as I described to you. Okay, so you can see it is your strings int 0011. Whether you want to make a string indexing first, that is, and the value second, depends on you. Okay, and here if you have a user values, that means user information. If you go for user information, so that is your string. So the first name, self, last name, job title, these three be your unique. So say first name, last name, job title. Okay, so I think this is the best example. You work on that, and if you want to go for the looping of that, you can say for key value is user info. Okay, uh, if I show to you this here, I think that is a good example for your programming point of view. So that's be, you can say, yeah, job title, first name and last name. Okay, so so this is your dictionary. And let me check about one more thing I want to explain. Okay, so okay, that's enough for you. So this is your simply okay, if you want to update value, one more thing I want to say, this is your print dictionary, and I want to update value. I want to update the second value and the second value, and I want to give the name for that value be your Tom, and print that dictionary again. Oh, I think there is some issue. Let me check it. Dict dot update value. Okay, yeah. This is your second value, and this is your Tom. Where it is wrong? Okay, I'm doing wrong. Sorry. Oh, that's a bit confusion. I'm doing wrong. This is your second, and this is your Tom. Okay, I'm very sorry. So you can do that be like this. Okay, so the first is your value and the second is your 4 key. I'm very sorry about that because I forget the 4 key here. So now the value become be your Tom and Vijay. Okay, so simply it is Tom and Vijay. So first was is it Ajay and Vijay, now it become Tom and Vijay. So this is a simple explanation. So I think this be a tutorial for the uh, a basic tutorial for the students who want to know the simple difference in the Swift, so that we you can go for that. And now we again on the second tutorial, next other tutorial I will explain to you the more complicacies of arrays and dictionary and the set. So this is your first, you have to work on that simple arrays, sets and dictionary. And if you want be anything from my side, I will definitely help you. You can just simply uh, comment it, or if you want be any, again I'm saying that if you want any information related to app designing or app or anything else, so will definitely help you in any kind of maths or whatever be. Okay, so thank you so much, and we'll become on the other tutorial. Thank you very much.